Hi guys, James Woodsmore here at Wellingborough Golf Club, and today I'm going to be talking to you about how to lower your scores without actually improving. Okay, how many times do we walk off the golf course and the what could have been comes into play when you're talking to your buddies about your game? I've hit it great there, but I just haven't scored well. If only I didn't three-putt the last. You know, at the end of the day, we can all say that we've struck the ball well and just haven't scored. You know, and like I said, that could be for a number of reasons. We could be getting distracted. You know, we could be making the wrong decision at the wrong time regarding club selection. There's a number of things that can cause our rounds to slip away without us actually playing bad golf. Okay, so by the end of the video, guys, I will give you 5 tips on how to improve your golf without actually improving. Okay, let's get stuck in and let's see what we can do. Right, first things first, warm up. If you want to improve and you want to get to where you want to be with your golf, I just feel like it's a fundamental part of improving your game and just getting yourself set off on your round of golf in the best way possible, giving yourself the best chance. So, if you have time, so there's a big if there, but if you do, go to your respective driving range or practice ground, or if you haven't got any of them, the nets at the golf club. I want you to hit anywhere between a dozen and 20 balls. What I want you to do, I just want you to loosen off. Now, there's no formula on what clubs to use. This is very much down to you. I would just start off, me personally, start off with a couple of mid-irons, some wedges, work my way up. And then what I would do the last 2 or 3 shots, I would hit the club that I'm going to hit off the first tee. So mentally, I'm preparing myself for the round ahead. Secondly, what I would do now, I will go to the short game area, the putting green, and I will hit a few chip shots and a few putts. Just get a feel for it. Play a few different clubs. Don't just stand there with like a 9-iron or a pitching wedge. Take a few different ones. Grab a pitching wedge, grab a sand wedge. Just play a couple of different shots to a couple of different flags. Just again, get your feel, get the speed of where you are, what you're trying to do. And again, it's all about just kind of getting ready for the round ahead. Once I've done that with my chip shots, I'm then going to grab my putter. So I'm going to grab my putter. I'm going to hit 6-foot putts, 6 foot and under. That's what I'm really going to focus on, because I can guarantee you this is right across the board, whether you're an elite golfer or a complete beginner. These are the putts you will put yourself under pressure the most of when you're out on the golf course, because you will expect to hold them. So practice them little ones, them knee knockers, because like I say, they're the ones you're going to be faced with on the course the most, where your mind will go, I need to hold this. So again, put yourself in that situation before you can play. And lastly, try and arrive down at the tee 10 minutes before. You know, try and arrive down the tee 10 minutes before, because as we know, if I've done all this and then I'm just sprinting to the tee, get on the first tee, I'm all out of sync, I'm rushing, I'm flapping, and it's not going to end well. Okay, club selection off the tee. Now, being sort of golfers that we are, we tend to use driver a lot off par 4s and most par 5s and everything else. So when there is a challenging hole in front of us, we tend to go to that comfortable club. It might not be a driver for you, it might be a 5-wood, it might be a 4-iron, it might be a 3-wood. Whatever it is that you use the majority of times off the tee, you will naturally go towards that club. So let's just say that is driver for me, okay? So what I would say first of all is look at the bigger picture. When I say look at the bigger picture, no, obviously how far you hit the ball, but look at the hole itself. So the hole I've got in front of me here is a dogleg right to left. The whole length is 412 yards. So if I hit driver and I don't get this, you know, wonderful big draw that I'm looking for around the corner, then I'm going to hit that driver too far, because I'll fly the driver roughly around that sort of number. If I hit a good shot, it will go around 250, 260 odd in the air, just a stock sort of shot for me. Then I'm going to be in trouble. I'm going to hit a decent shot, but because I haven't got the draw on it, I'm going to be in trouble then. I'm going to be having to hit out the trees. So let me just give you an example. I'm going to try and play this driver now. I'm going to hit the shot straight down as much as I can do, and just kind of see where it leads me anyway. Okay, as you see, I've hit my driver, hasn't lended me to do that. So I've just put myself in basically unnecessary trouble. I've tried to, again, bite off more than I can chew. I've tried to hit it around the corner, hit that awesome shot. If I'd have pulled that off, great. I would have had a little flick into the green and happy days, but I didn't. I just hit it dead straight. I'm now in the trees. I've probably got a chip out, then knock on. So what I'm going to do this time, I'm going to play my 3-wood. My 3-wood is around 230 odd in the air. If I turn it a little bit, it's okay because I've got a little bit of room to the left. And then again, I know I'm not going to hit it too far by hitting it straight because it's not really going to go anything beyond 260 with run out and all the rest of it. So let me try that now and see how that works out better for me. There we go. So you see I've hit my 3-wood there. You can see it just turned over a little bit, but because it was never going to be too much club on that line, it was the right situation to play that club in that certain moment. Like I said, that doesn't always obviously go to plan. You know, just because I'm not going to reach the club with that particular shot doesn't mean that it's going to work. Obviously, everything else has to be lined up. But again, just give yourself the best possible chance. Don't make unforced errors. The game's hard enough. We don't need to make it any harder by playing the wrong club in the wrong situation. Tip number 3, game management. We all have that hero moment, that Hollywood moment, that sort of I can do this shot, I can pull this off. We've got that 2-yard gap. We think we're Seve. I'm going to hit this through this 2-yard gap in that tree. It's going to draw 30 yards. Finish just short of the green. I could chip it on hold apart. What I would say to that is, how likely is that? Are you 100% confident you can pull that off? What are you gaining? Apart from obviously you can pull off this amazing shot, before you play that, ask yourself, what score would I be happy on this hole in this situation? I'll paint a picture. We've got that shot in play. We're off 14 handicap. We're on the 5th hole and I'm playing my second shot and I've got this position in front of me. I've got 180 yards to go. I'm going to hit it through this tight spot and I'm going to get it nearer the green. So what I would say instantly is, well, okay, you're on the 4th hole. Let's not wreck the card because if this doesn't come off, we're in a world of pain. So I would say let's just get a wedge, knock it back in play, hit it 100 yards, leave myself 80 yards in, knock it on the green, 2 putts, walk off with 5, bogey. Bearing in mind, if I'm off 14, in theory, that's a bogey on 14 out of the 18 holes. So if I'm feeling good and playing well, I can easily get that back, or I'm kind of playing to handicap. So just think about that scenario before you turn into Seve Ballesteros, just for 5 seconds. Okay, tip number 4, conditions. Now another one, this is obviously very apparent if you're in the UK because we tend to get all 4 seasons within a very short period of time when we're playing golf. So what I mean by that, conditions, well, wind is one factor straight away. I see so many people when they're playing in strong winds, they get a bit confused or sometimes they just ignore it. And obviously we know we can't do that because it has a massive impact on your golf ball and on the shot in hand regarding club selection, distance control and direction. I'll give you an example. I've got a hole out here that I've put on my simulator and I've got 23 mile an hour wind kind of coming sort of into me off my left shoulder. I've got 155 yards, which is for me normally an A time. So I'm going to hit 7 iron. So I'm going to take one more club. And obviously because it's kind of going this way, it's coming sort of, like I say, into off my left shoulder, out the left. It's naturally playing a bit into wind and it's obviously heavily off the left. So for that reason, I'm going to take one more club. I'm going to aim sort of 5-10 yards left of the pin, left of my intended target. It doesn't have to be the pin, it can be the center of the green, wherever you're aiming at. And I'm almost going to allow for the wind to move the ball back. One thing, obviously, the other thing is trust. I have to trust this because if I don't trust it, I'm going to bail out and then the wind really is going to take my golf ball and then I'm in trouble. So first thing is trust the shot. Okay, trust the decision you've made, back your decision you've made. Second thing, like I say, don't fight it. Don't go and stand there and just try and smash an 8 iron or a 9 iron or something that you would hit normally and you think, I'm in to win, so I've got to hit this harder. All that will do, the ball will spin more, it will pop up in the air, and then you'll just watch this golf ball just take its journey on the wind leaving you in a world of pain. So I'm going to get myself set. Like I said, I've got one more club. I'm going to aim 10 yards left of my intended target. I'm going to have a swing, and I'm going to try and trust that movement. Okay, there we go. So as you can see there, the wind took that ball quite heavily. It had a bit of fade on it, but I did what I said I was going to do. I started left of its target, wind moved it back. I've now got a putt and I've got a chance at making that. Okay, my fifth tip, guys, would be have a pre-shot routine. Now, I know, again, that might sound obvious, and it's something that we think we do when we're on the golf course, but if you were to look at your game, especially when you're under a bit of pressure, or there's sort of outside influences affecting the way you think when you're on the golf course, you will find that a routine will go out the window because it's probably not consistent enough, or you haven't probably prepared yourself well enough in the past to gain this level of consistency whilst you're out on the golf course. So the best way to try and nail down a pre-shot routine is make it simple. Keep it short in your mind, and like I say, so you can follow some simple steps when you're over the ball. So to give you an example of my pre-shot routine here, I'll talk about when I'm on the tee. So I'm on the tee, I've got this par 4 in front of me. It's quite a narrow sort of entrance, the fairway. It's a very long, straight hole. So sometimes when you have a picture like that, it's quite difficult to pick out some visuals, as opposed to if it was like a dog leg right to left. You can see the shot shape a bit easier. So what we need to do, first of all, before I think about anything in regards to my swing, I'm just going to pick a target out. So I'm going to pick something out in the distance. That might be a tree branch, a leaf, something nice and small that I can focus that can get my focus basically when I'm over the ball on the tee, and then going through my sort of setup towards the golf ball. That's the first thing I'm doing. I'm going to pick out something. Now again, this isn't for everyone. They don't have to pick out something. A lot of people pick out something a couple of feet in front of them, and they draw a line back to themselves and the target. Again, it's very personal, but all I would say is that make it stick, make it repeat. So whatever that is for you, try and do the same things every time. So once I've chose my little target out in the distance, I'm then going to go through my feel. Okay, so I will do this away from the golf ball. I would normally do this kind of back and to the left of my golf ball, being a right-hander, and I would have a couple of swings and a couple of movements just on what I'm trying to feel for that day, or feel in my swing. Nothing technical, but just as a feeling of hands close to my body, something like that. Something that, again, that's not going to cloud my mind, but it's clear enough that I know when I'm over the ball, I'm not jumbled and I can just focus on the target. So once I've done a couple of them sort of movements to get the feeling, I'm then going to walk in from the golf ball from down the line, from this angle in. So I'm going to get a line between myself, the ball, and my intended target, and I'm going to walk up to that target now, to my ball, with my eyes fixated on the target, feeling comfortable enough in what I've done on my little routine, and I'm kind of ready to go. The last thing I'll do, I'll have a little movement here where I'm basically simulating the lasting feel I want. Because again, if I say to myself, right, I'm going to get my hands here, then I'm going to drop the club, I'm going to do all of this, I've lost focus of the target because I'm so engrossed with what I'm doing, I've forgotten about the outcome. So just one last, for me, this is again, one last little movement here. I'll just do a little waggle like that. Okay, then I'm ready. One last look at the target. Get myself in a position where I'm feeling confident enough to trust my movements, and I can hit the shot. Okay, there we go. So that is your 5 ways to improve your game without actually improving. Now, hopefully that's given you the platform to move forward with your golf. Learn little bits and bobs like we just spoke about. Go over the finer details within your game. And I think I'm absolutely sure if you adopt what we've just been talking about there, it will 100% help you in your quest to break whatever score you have in your mind for the season to reach your goals. This will only enhance and help that moving forward. Okay, thanks very much guys for watching. If you like what you see, hit the like button, leave a comment. Love to know how you get on when you do get a chance to go, and subscribe to my channel for more videos to come. Thanks very much guys.